With Halloween just around the corner, last week I asked you guys at home to tell a paranormal ghost story that you may have. Not a fake one, not a made up one, but a real one that you may have encountered. With Halloween just around the corner, what a better time to tell your story that's a paranormal activity story for people to hear. Even though that we don't understand a lot of things, we the people here, still in the 21st century, still fear what we don't understand. Why is it that we fear that we don't understand? Is it out of pure ignorance, pure selfishness, or just simply too proud to accept the unexplained? I'm going to tell my real life ghost story that had taken place a few years back when I worked at the Lord Nelson Hotel in Halifax. The Lord Nelson Hotel, the mezzanine level, the men's washroom. When I used to work in there was always a presence of a person there. After when I would check, there was nobody there, but yet the presence of a human being was there. It didn't seem hostile, it just seemed to be wanting to know why I'm here. But yet animals, and like the crows that you just heard, can pick up, sense things that we can't. Is it possible that the deceased can't be picked up, but us humans don't have the capabilities, but yet animals can? A dog, a cat, a bird, they can detect things what us humans can't. So just because us humans are not capable of sensing certain things may be an indicator that we're too proud and too ignorant to accept the unknown. When I worked at the Lord Nelson Hotel on the men's washroom, in the men's washroom on the mezzanine level, there was a presence of somebody there, but yet there wasn't. So now I go on doing my other duties, set up functions in the Admiral's room, the Georgian Lounge. Believe it or not, when you're in that room alone, there is always a presence of a person or persons in that room with you, when in fact you're in that room alone. Or is it just because you don't see things doesn't mean that it's not there? Why is it that we fear what we don't understand? We've been asking that question for years and years and years to come. We all know that we have places in our region that are haunted. The Five Fishermen's Club in Halifax. Some places out here on the eastern shore where I live in Porter's Lake, there have been stories about paranormal activities out here also. But we don't understand it. Why is it? That's like asking the question in the universe when you look around us. Are we alone? Just now, NASA and scientists are saying we may not be alone after all, but yet we swallow our pride to show our ignorance, saying we are alone when really we may not be. Yeah, it's a strange world we live in. But with Halloween coming around the corner, Halloween can play a lot of tricks on us at times, now can it? And it's been proven with technology and with costumes and makeup, we can make things appear of what they're not. So with Halloween coming around the bend, we can make a lot of things happen that's not real. Or is it? As extraordinary as it may seem, not that long ago, scientists did an EEG on an 87-year-old man, senior, who had a lifelong battle with epilepsy. He was dying. Just before he passed away, he died during the EEG, CAT scan, whatever you want to call it. When they did the EEG, they recorded his brain patterns when he was dying. And what they came back to was something quite extraordinary. When he was dying, he was dreaming. So is it possible that when people pass away, they go into a dream and they don't come out? But also on the other hand, all what we got to go by is a bunch of people who claim who they had what when they had died, when they came back, and they explain of what they have seen when they passed on. But the problem with that, when they're telling their stories, how do we know that they're telling the truth and it's just not made up for attention and for the sake of making money? How do we know they're telling the truth or from telling a lie? As hard it is to believe, death is a concept that's going to come before us one way or the other throughout life. And even though that it comes and goes for us all, we have to accept it. And one thing that we have a hard time with dealing with is when we die, we have a hard time of understanding it. When we die, is it possible that we're still in our bodies? When we die, when your brain, heart, lungs stop functioning, you're officially deceased. But some people say that's not entirely true. Your brain is still functioning, and when they wheel you down out of your hospital room and into the freezer to the morgue, it's possible that you're still alive. So are they putting people who they assume is deceased into the morgue when they could be looked at because we don't understand 100% of the human body, how it works? The brain's still alive even though that your lungs and heart stopped functioning. So is it possible that your brain is still working? So if that's the case, we very well still could be in our bodies. And it's also possible that the deceased can also feel and sense and see what's going on around them, such as their funeral, people around them when they're dying, when they're passing on. They may be actually recorded deceased, but their brains very well still could be fully functional. So as hard it is to believe, when we see death, we still do not understand it. I'm Adam Conrod. Join me again for another story of the unknown.